Otter bids you welcome. It's been too long, way too long. This is going to be a different sort of Flosstube to what I normally do, because I have, well, time has slipped away from me, and I have something I really wanted to share with you now, and therefore the usual what things have I been working on, what's been finished, what have I started, all that will come in another video a bit, hopefully in not as long time since last. Yeah, life has been a bit of an agony. There have been many loose threads and uncertain things, and things I knew were coming up but no dates yet, and uncertainty is one of those things that really kills me. And my life has basically for 3 or 4 months been just complete and utter uncertainty. So, okay, life updates may happen in between, and maybe in the next video, and maybe not at all, because yeah. Okay, the good things. Well, today is Wednesday the 26th of September. This means tomorrow is the 27th September. That's my birthday. And I had several months ago started thinking I want to do something crazy on my birthday, because this year has been, so it's time to do crazy things, do fun things, so that when I look back on 2018, instead of just saying that was crappy, then I can say, oh, that was the year when I did that wild thing and that wild thing and stuff like that, because that's more positive. At least I tell myself it is. So, my initial thoughts of doing something wild, cross-stitch related for my birthday was 47 new starts. Yeah. And then I thought about that some more. And then I said, yeah, it could be fun, but somehow I suspect that I'd be freaking out at some point, and it wouldn't be fun anymore to start on new things. And then I thought, okay, how can I make this more reasonable? And I had asked some of my Ravenclaw housemates. Yes, I'm a Ravenclaw. I am on Ravelry in the Harry Potter Knit and Crochet House Cup, and I'm a Ravenclaw. I've been a Ravenclaw all my time there. And I'm actually actively playing this term, this September, October, November. And that's knitting and crochet, but we can also do other things. And besides, I hang around there all day, every day, and they are my people. So I had asked for ideas to do something crazy that wasn't quite as crazy as 47 new starts, which I regret to say would actually be possible for me to do without having to go out and buy anything. In fact, I could probably do more than just 47 starts. And I got some feedback, and then I tweaked my plans, and I also put in an extra challenge. So I have something I am calling 47th B-Day Madness. I have used the hashtag on Instagram a couple of times. And then I have the 47th B-Day Challenge. So, the madness, which got tweaked to be not quite as mad, is I will be for 47 days working on 4 whips and maybe finishing. At least one of them is doable. 2 of them are definitely not, and I think the third is also, but never mind. 4 whips and 7 new starts, which is, it's a bit mad, but it's fun, and it's not going to freak me out. So, and the wonderful thing is it actually fits. If I start doing the 7 new starts, and then I spend the next 11 days working on all 11, 4 plus 7 projects, and then I do the 11 one more time and the 11 one more time, and then there's exactly 7 days left over, so my new starts get a 5th workout. Brilliant. It's meant to have been, right? And then I have been picking out the first few options for new starts were pretty easy, and then it got a bit harder, and some of my whips have also been sort of a bit tricky, but you are now going to see me share 11 projects in all, some of which you will have seen, some of which will be the first time I'm showing them. So, and I also have a specific rota for when I'm going to be working on what. So, I am going to start with my first, hang on, glare. We don't want any glare. This picture here of a black cat and a lot of flowers. That's what I will be starting on. And it is a kit by Permin. I've had it in my stash for, I suspect, more than 20 years. And it is done on a piece of white even weave, and I'm not even sure about the count. Nope, doesn't say. And this is the, it's a nice small discreet floss card holder thing that they put in. So and the reason why I'm starting with this on my birthday is because my birthday, and this year it will be 13 years precisely, that the boy, Ramses, my fur baby, has been my fur baby, because we picked him up on my birthday tomorrow, 13 years ago. We may actually have witnessed him being dumped. There is this thing called phenomenon known as summer house cats, summer house kittens, where people on holiday for a longer period of time will get themselves a cat or a kitten and they will have it for as many weeks as they are on holiday, and then they'll just head off. And this, we saw a car at a car park, and all of a sudden there was this little black cat, and this was in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden there was this cat walking around, and yeah. So we may have rescued him. If he was dumped, well, he was dumped for 5 or 10 minutes and never really realized he was dumped. So that is why I'm doing that for my birthday. On the 28th, I have another Permin kit, which is this panda. This is done on what I think is 18 count Aida. I am not 100% certain, but it looks like it could be 18 count. It's not a big thing. This is the fabric, yeah. And yes, I have already marked the middle. All of these, they've been marked. They have been. I've done the whip stitch across the edges of the fabric. I have marked the middle. The flosses have been prepared, set up. These are not really my colors, but it's a panda. I like pandas. So, yeah. I am putting them back in their bags because otherwise I'll just have chaos here. And there's enough chaos in my life to, yeah, I don't need it. So, the 29th is it's a kit. It's an Eva Rosenstand kit. I have had it for donkey's years. This may actually be approaching 30 years of marinating in my stash. 20 to 30 years. And it is a bell pull. And it is, let's see, it's the one with the cars. And it's a long thing. I had actually previously thought that I was going to make it into doilies rather than a bell pull, but I've changed my mind. It's going to be a bell pull. It's linen. It's bright colours. It's vintage cars. I have been enjoying, this is one of the good things about this summer. I don't know if it is pure happy circumstances or if somebody has actually been working, lobbying for this to happen, but we have had a good number of various vintage car groups come visit the island for a weekend, sort of regularly. So we have had old Rolls Royces and Bentleys. We had Ford T's a couple of weeks ago. There was something with vintage Russian motorcycles, which I didn't see those, and there was another one I also missed. They had the Fiat Cinquecento come over. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen some pictures, and it's been quite fun. And I'm not all into all the technical stuff about these old cars, but I like looking at old cars. I think they are much more aesthetically pleasing than many of the modern day ones, and it's really cool to see what cars looked like in their early days, and especially some of those Ford T's where the spokes on the wheels, they were made of wood. I mean, yep. So I felt it was time to do my vintage car bell pull. And that has a good advantage because I get to make lots of small finishes. Yes. So then we come to the 30th, or the 4th day, and this is, they are actually all, no, I lie, there is one thing that is not a kit, but we'll get to that. Okay, this is an Eva Rosensten kit. It is actually designed as an advent calendar, but I am pretty sure I'm not going to put the numbers on. I am just doing that slightly cheesy tree with all those little teddy bears and that stuff. I have, however, opted not to on the fabric that it came with, which it actually isn't even here anymore, and I can't remember, I think it was linen. But I have gone for some Aida, but in a dark blue, because I don't know if you can see it, there are loads of small stars made with gold metallic thread, and I think they're going to pop out much better on this background rather than just a white linen. The colors are a bit blah, but it's okay. It's okay. I will cope. And I have checked what they look like against here, and they do sort of pop out a bit more. And I might end up substituting the gold thread from the kit for another, because I know what Eva Rosensten's gold metallic thread is like, and I might want to experiment and try something else, because yeah. So that was day 4, and then we are going to soon approach another, or we will approach another milestone for me, because the 1st of October is a special day for me as well, not just my birthday in September, but there is another thing to celebrate just a few days after, because the 1st of October, and again 13 years ago, I became a house owner, because that's when I officially gained ownership of the house I'm in. And this is a huge thing for me, because I had been absolutely certain that I would never be able to get a house. And this is when I was admitted to hospital for my mental health, that was, well, on December 25th, it'll be 13 years ago again. So you can all see that 13 years ago my autumn was rather hectic. And owning my house was possible because of my parents, because they were the ones who lent me the money. Thanks Mum, thanks Dad, I really appreciate it. And this isn't, Ærø was not where I had planned on living. And it isn't the sort of house that I had been looking really for or considered my dream house. But I had been living here for a couple of years when I suddenly realized that I was living in a place where I did not have the thought at the back of my head saying, this is only temporary. This is only until I can get to something better. But that in fact, it's not where I had dreamed of or hoped or planned or had ambitions. But in fact, I lived, and I still live, in a place where, well, basically, if they carry me out feet first from here, no biggie. This is fine. It wasn't what I had planned originally, but I'll take it. This is perfect for me. And realizing that I felt that way was just, I can't really describe, but it was such an amazing feeling of feeling at home somewhere. One of the things that had really attracted me to this place was the fact that there were 17 apple trees, there were 4 pear trees, and I'm not going to bother about all the other trees. I have since lost 1 pear tree, which just died. But yes, those were one of the things that made me want to live here. This, in spite of being someone who hardly ever really eats fruit, and sort of the concept of just eating an apple like that is not, it's not really my thing. I still don't do it, but no. So, this is what I will be working on the 1st of October. Yep. And this has not been for all that long in my stash, because this is something that I have bought sometime during these 13 years. Because, yeps, there's apples, there's pears, there's a little house. It does not look like my house. No biggie. This is a big sod. This is the fabric. Yeah. But it will consist of a number of small finishes in between. Linen, ordinary linen. Does it say what count? They aren't really very good at writing the count, but never mind. And then there is the floss, which none of them are sort of fantastically spectacular, but when they all get mushed up together and on the fabric and then get stitched up into apples and pears, it's going to be wonderful. So far, so good. Yeah, sorry, I realized that I hadn't found a proper bag to keep that project in, which it needed, and I had to get my lunch in the oven. So if you can hear a ticking, it's not a bomb that's about to go off, it's just my timer. But yeah. Now, the 2nd of October is going to be interesting. Very interesting. I had planned to work on this, which is a companion piece to a project I started on this summer. I'm still not done with it, but I'm getting close. It is a cream 18 count Aida, at least I think it is 18 count. It's these slightly boring colors, but the end result is good, so that all works out. And it's not quite full coverage, but it's sort of smaller thing. And then the good thing is, at some point I'll have both of them done, and then I'll probably be making a giveaway of the patterns and the leftover threads and all that. So if any of you are fans of ancient Egypt and might be tempted, then you know you need to hang around for a while, and you might get the chance to win these. However, when I was doing all of this planning, I found out sort of in the early part of the summer that there would be surgery in my future, but I didn't know exactly when. That's been one of these uncertainties that's been floating around. Exactly when am I going to be called in? And yeah, it's the 2nd of October. I figured it shouldn't be a big deal. Okay, so the surgery might be more complex than I first thought. They're hoping to do it with the keyhole technique, but maybe they will have to do the let's cut you open. Also, yesterday I received a letter saying that I was scheduled for my scan about my leg, and that was going to be on, you guessed it, the 2nd of October. Okay, the scanning is at 9:30 in the morning, and we were already going to tell them up at the other, this is in Svendborg, which is just across the water from us, whereas the surgery is up in Odense, so there's a bit of a wait goes after we've come over. But Mum has been talking to the nurses and stuff, and it should be possible. So the 2nd of October is going to be me being scanned and then me having surgery. And I don't know how much time and how much just focus I'm going to be having to be able to actually do anything on that piece. we'll see. Maybe I'll just opt to, if I don't really get started on it, then I might throw an extra day at the tail end and say, okay, now we're gonna catch up on that last day, which was the first day, and all that. So, yeah. And also, depending on the surgery and how it goes and how I react, I have to be put all out under general anesthesia. And I have no idea how I'm going to react to that. So I also don't know how I'll feel the next day. But I have a very small project for the next day. And unfortunately, this is the only picture I have, which is rather small. It's this very mini bell pull. And this is something that has been in my stash for 30 years. And possibly a couple of years more. And well, it's come here made the list because partly because it's been in my stash for a long time. It's Christmas. It is small. This is the fabric. And this is the floss. It's a linen fabric, and it's, let's see, like that. And it's nothing very complex or complicated. So, and might actually be a finish, because it's 5 days that I will have for each of my new starts. And I'll show you the picture again. Yeah. It is not completely out of the question. Of course, this depends how I'm feeling on the day after surgery, but there is a possibility, distinct possibility that this could be finished in that period. And yeah, like so. So those are the 7 new starts. Then we're going to come on to those 4 whips that I'm going to be working on. And one is something I have been hunting for a while, because I knew I had started this, but I couldn't find it, which annoyed me. I have not worked on this for a couple of years. I haven't really looked at where I am, so I was just, okay, this is going to be a way of kickstarting, possibly. This is a Teresa Winsler. What is Dragon Ride? And it's even weave. It's the, it was a kit. Oh dear, there's threads all over the place. And this is how much I've got done. And yes, I have also done some part of the rider, which is 1/1. But yeah, this is where I am. I haven't touched it for years. Ooh, I can see the fabric has been getting a bit smushy, and there's needles here, there, everywhere. But this is the first of my whips, and it'll only be 3 days worth of work, but and then this is where sort of the surgery actually comes in handy, because I'll be convalescing after that surgery. I have the perfect excuse for spending most of my day here in my stitchy chair, just stitching and recuperating and resting and letting my body heal. And then in between I can get up and do a bit of moving around, because I'm also supposed to be keeping myself doing stuff. So, but yes. Okay, that was the first of the whips, and the second of the whips is this one, which I am pretty sure I have been showing here. I also have been showing it on Instagram over the summer, spring, summer, because I am actually pretty well underway. And, well, I am not saying it's guaranteed to get finished during the 3 days it will be getting, but it is not completely out of the question either. So that will be getting an airing. And I have needles falling all over the place. So, and yes, more Christmas. But hey, Christmas is good. My third whip is something I haven't shown here before. I know this. And this is another piece that I haven't worked on for quite a number of years. I think I started it 12 years ago. Maybe a bit more, but thereabouts. But I am pretty certain I haven't worked on it during the last 10 years. This is an Oehlenschläger kit, which is a Danish company, and it is this scene of rabbits raiding the cabbage patch, and a good deal of this is actually just half stitches. Some of it is full cross stitches and parts of it just half, but that makes it sort of, because you have to check, is this color being done full stitch or half stitch here or wherever. And well, yeah, I haven't made all that much of progress, but it's a start. And now I get to figure out exactly where am I and start working on it. And yeah, this was just sort of an excuse to begin working on this. It's sort of a smallish piece, so it might be a finish next year. And then my last whip is my newest whip of this lot. It is a whip I started on this summer, sometime this summer, because I gave in to temptation. I finally bought my first Heaven and Earth pattern, Heaven and Earth Designs pattern. Actually, I bought two, but so this piece. Yeah, why are you not surprised I would choose something like this? Mind you, even if it's called the Christmas Ride, it's not overtly Christmassy, so I am actually assuming I can have this up at least all of the winter. Yeah, this is the first time I'm doing something this big. It's also just the second time where I'm doing a full coverage piece where I'm actually starting from the corner. The Nativity is actually also a full coverage piece, but I hadn't really realized that. But last year I started on a picture of two cranes, and it's been sort of put in standby because there were a number of reasons why I'm sort of a bit iffy about that. But so this Christmas ride is by far the largest thing I have ever started. I opted to get myself some already gridded fabric. I had an amazing friend in the States who told me that I can't remember, was it Hobby Lobby or Joann's, were having a sale, 4th of July sale on DMC flosses, and this was just maybe a week after I had bought these two patterns. So I started looking, which flosses do I already have? Which flosses do I need? And she went and bought me a massive, I have pictures and I'm going to share them some in the future, but this is my floss bag ring. Just for this one. This was 85 colors, I think. The other one is 235 or something like that. But anyway, this is what I've managed to get done. I still haven't got my first page finished yet, but I have started page 2 here, and I have started on page 7 or 8. I can't remember what number. No, I haven't got the pattern right here, but yeah. And it's been a very interesting learning process, and I have been having fun. And there have been a number of days where basically all I did was just sit and stitch. And yes, those are my rainbow bits, my reindeer bits, those two little brown spots there. Then there is something I have to point out. There is a needle minder on this piece. And this is my first ever needle minder. And thank you very much to Ingeborg, A Stitch Too Far, because she sent me a pattern and then she had put this in as a little extra. And I have never used needle minders before, and to be honest, I thought, well, okay, it could be handy, but it seems to be sort of like a fancy gadget, but not really necessary. But I stuck it on here, and all of a sudden I sort of became a bit of a convert, because hey, I can just put my needle there and I know where it is. It's not a case of I have put my needle here or there or there or there, and where did I actually put my needle? No. My needle is there on the work. And especially when I then started playing with multiple needles and stuff like that. So I have actually now bought myself a couple of needle minders because, wow, it's not just pretty things, they're actually pretty darn useful. So thank you very much, Ingeborg, for opening my eyes to this. My purse might not be quite as happy, but yeah. So anyway, and that whip, I mean, I'll get as far as I get on the 3 days that has been allotted for the reindeer in these 47 days. So these are my 47 days of birthday madness, cross-stitch wise. If anyone wants to join me, either with something similar or something else, do feel free, and do also feel free to use the hashtag that I made for myself for this on Instagram. Also, I will put my Instagram handle down below, because this whole filming thing is a bit iffy at the moment, but I have actually gotten in the habit of, well, it's been a bit wobbly these past few weeks because there has just been so much, and I've been having really bad days as well, but I had actually got into the habit of giving a status update on my stitching every evening before I went to bed. And I think this is going to be happening with these 47 days, that there will be a daily update on what am I working on today and how far did I get. So feel free to follow me there. Now, that was the more fun bit. Then I have also issued myself a challenge for my birthday. And that is that before my next birthday, I should try to get 47 whips of whatever. Sorry, I'm not really sure what it is. It's not a tractor. I wonder if it's a sweeper car. We get that sometimes. No. But I'm going to try to get 47 whips, regardless of craft, finished before my next birthday. A year is 52 weeks. This is 47 things. Okay, maybe I should, I can't remember if I said this, but if I haven't, you will probably have guessed that, yes, I'm going to be 47 tomorrow. That's why it's 47. And I have an array of stuff here to show. There is a placemat, all done, except, can we get it to focus? Like that. You can see it hasn't been hemmed. It is not fully finished until it has been hemmed. See, this could be one of my things. Oh, and I have shown her before, and I have now been able, because I had made one when I was in my teens, which was hemmed because it's been in use, and I've been unable to find it. Mum helped me out maybe a month ago by informing me that she had found it at their place. So there was a very good reason why I couldn't find it here at home. So, but now she can show me how it was things got hemmed, because we now have the original, so we can get them to be same size, because I'm not having a set of 4 placemats and they're different sizes. Sorry, can't do that. Then there is a more recent whip, this little guy, who is supposed to be a companion to this, so yeah. And actually I think it's the arms that are already knit for this guy, but I need to have the legs and then they need to get attached. So this could be another complete finish. There's this pair of socks, which have looked like this ever since sometime last summer. And I'll probably have to frog them and start all over again. But this could be a project. I have this, which is a triceratops. That's the tail end. Or perhaps we should say this is half a triceratops. Getting this guy done will also count. I have the bits for a hood, all knitted, all blocked, although that happened 7 months ago, possibly. Maybe just 6 months, but never mind. But these bits, they have to be seamed together before I can use it. Hey. I have I wonder if you can guess what this is. This is meant to be an orangutan, specifically the librarian. If you read Terry Pratchett and his Discworld novels, you will know who the librarian is. But currently, the librarian is just a random bunch of bits. He's been in that state for maybe 3 years now. Yeah, okay. And these are also some other relative newer things. There's one project really high on my list. It is a bell pull with Christmas mice. I have a picture of me in Danish 7th grade, 8th grade, working on it. And I mean, it was finished while I was at, is this what they would call middle school? Let's say I was 15 when I finished the bell pull, the stitching, the cross stitching part of the bell pull. Yeah, let's say I was 15. And I'm going to be 47. And I have been waiting for Mum to show me how to mount a bell pull. Yes, that is one of my very top candidates on my let's get these things done. So yeah, I was editing and I discovered that the camera had cut off at very close to the end, so yeah, here I am doing a wee bit more. It's later in the day, it's begun to get a bit not as bright outside, so I have a lamp on right now and I have no idea what it's doing to the lighting. But anyway, I had finished explaining about my birthday challenge, and then I had in the last or one of the previous videos I had talked about doing a giveaway in connection with my birthday. That is not going to happen. It would be too much stress right now, and I hope you are okay with this. I will be doing it maybe in the next video, which I think should be number 10, so maybe it's like a whoa, I've managed to get it to 10 floss tubes, or sort of a yay, I did my mad thing, or celebration, or it's just before Christmas, let's have some fun before that. Anyway, there will be a giveaway. I just don't know when, because my life has to be a little better organized before that happens. And I might even find a few more items which I could put up. So it will happen. It's just not going to be here and now. And that's more or less it. I hope that I'll be doing my next video without this big time lapse in between. But yep, It's hard to say what's going to happen after surgery. It's hard to say what's going to happen in general. But if you want to follow me, then Instagram is right now where I'm probably at my most stable. And thanks for hanging out with me, watching me ramble on. If you are a new viewer, I hope I haven't scared you off. And if you are a subscriber, then, well, you sort of used to my weirdness. And apparently enjoy it. I am going to finish by showing you my most current cross stitch whip, which is the last of my 3 wise men, of my Mill Hill kits. And this is a bit disastrous because I only have one more Mill Hill kit that I'm going to be making, and then I don't have any more. Yeah, I have already started looking at where I could order and have several places, some in Europe, and then, well, maybe I'll have to order from the States, but and also I've started beading him. He is very likely going to be the first of my 47 finishes for my challenge. Yes. So anyway, this is what got cut off, but here it is. And take care of yourselves, and I'll see you. Bye.